Hello, my pretties. So, just as the title says, do what the opposite of most people are doing and you'll be unusually successful. And let me give you some real life examples, some proof right here, right now. So, the way to my personal physical health and my financial health, it's a good marriage because that just gives you more options in life and more personal freedom, is to find out what most people are doing and do the exact opposite. So, we'll go back to 12 and a half years ago. It's 2020 right now. May 15th, 2020, depending on when you're watching this. I got started with this journey and this beautiful shift in the paradigm of my philosophy back in August of 2007. And so I was introduced to a home business opportunity. Everyone in the room said no. I was the only one that said yes. I guess I had it ingrained into my brain early on to do the opposite, because that's what I did, the opposite. So everyone in that room that I know of, I haven't kept in touch with all of them, but a lot of them I see they're still in situations where they're not very happy. So they're doing what most people do and living the consequences of what most people are living in. That's just the reality of it. Me, on the other hand, just fast forward 90 days after that point, completely changed my health. In 2.5 years after that point, I fired my boss and didn't need a job anymore. So I changed that aspect of my life as well. So I had both of those, the marriage of health and wealth, which opens up opportunities and personal freedom. And then along the way, there's examples everywhere of, I'm always thinking, God, what would most people do? So we'll start with my first little minimal success, or failure in this case, and my new regimen there. So on the health side, after like a week, I'm not seeing any changes yet. Most people will quit. Most people don't last a week, and when they're getting started on a new workout regimen or whatever, they're done. They don't get the changes quickly enough. So I started thinking, well, most people would quit. And I got this example of other people that finished this particular program I did, and they got great results. So I got to keep going. So I kept going. 1 month went by, maybe minimal change. That's it. 1 month of that kind of effort, most people would quit. Therefore, I can't quit. I have to keep going. Not just that, but I got to double down on the effort, and I did. And 90 days went by, and oh my God, at the end of 90 days, I have this before and after picture. Just ask me for it if you haven't seen it. It's like, it's infomercial style difference. It's that drastic, except it's not an infomercial, it's me. And so I kept it all these years later to just drive other people with inspiration to see something through and go against the grain of what most people are doing, because the rewards are incredible. They're just incredible. And then the alternative to that is you suffer the way most people suffer, but man, it's worth it. It is so worth it. So then look at the financial aspect of it. 1 month, after 1 month of doing it, $0. Most people would have quit. I said, I can't do what most people are doing because most people are living paycheck to paycheck or worse, and I don't want that to be my life. Another month went by. You'd think I'd make something by now. No, I didn't. 3 months went by. Nope, still nothing. Holy shit. Just goes to show I didn't know what I was doing, and also I wasn't following anybody's direction who was successful before me, so that's on me totally. But eventually I learned my lesson. 3.5 months in, I got my first paycheck from this new business venture. So about 3 months and 2 weeks or something like that, $29. What would most people do? 3.5 months in, all that work, $29. Do you think that would stay? No, they'd quit. Actually, most people won't even last 1 or 2 weeks, let alone a month or 2 or 3 months. They're gone. They're done. And they live and they die broke underneath the thumb of others that can tell them what to do, just obedient workers the rest of their lives. I don't want to live that way. That's what I told myself. And so I got to double down. And then in addition to doubling down, I started, listening to people who were smarter than me, because I wasn't too bright. And that made a big difference too. So $29 after 3.5 months of work. And by that time, I already had the 90 days, that awesome health transformation. And then just keep going. That little bit of buildup, it was residual money. That was the difference maker. It wasn't ordinary earned income. It was residual money. It starts so small. Most people don't think it matters, but it does matter. It adds up, but then it multiplies. And when it starts multiplying, that's when it gets really exciting. It starts to be more passive-like, so that my time is literally decoupled from my income, and therefore that's when you get to buy your life back, and you can create moments and experiences rather than having to show up on a hamster wheel to pay the bills all the time. And that's real living. So that was the reward for thinking about what would most people do. Oh, they'd quit. Well, F that. I have to keep going. I have to double down. So I did. And so in February of 2010, eventually, you know, the $29 it was, my first, I think it was 29, 27, no, it was 29. After 3.5 months of working, it started to build and build and then multiply and multiply. And 2.5 years into it, it's like, I don't need a job anymore. I'm done. I'm retired, over it. And for somebody that wants to keep a job, that's not the point. The point is it becomes optional. So there's nothing cool, in my opinion, about being codependent and needy on some company to take care of you for the rest of your life. I don't agree with that at all. I'm very anti that. But I'm not anti-job, and I'm certainly not anti-work. I'm a workaholic. I love working. I just want to work in a way that actually serves me rather than some pyramid scheme at some company that is ripping me off. So love your job, hate your job. The point is make it optional by building residual money so that you are a free person. And you never know. This current crisis we're in now certainly exposes the horrible judgment people make by putting the reliance on an income coming from some job or some company, or even self-employed people. Most self-employed people have zero residual income. There's a lot of self-employed people. What is it? There's projected to be about 40% of small businesses are going to permanently close. That's what the projection is right now. That's because they don't have any residual money. So it's not enough to be self-employed. You need to learn about residual money. And so it goes back to this beautiful philosophy. Most people are not interested. They're not interested in learning about it. They're not going to do what it takes to develop it. They're going to live and die broke, an obedient wage slave the rest of their lives, constantly having to show up on their hamster wheel or it stops. And when a pandemic hits, or something like this, or there's a lot of mergers and acquisitions where they don't need your job, or it's offshore to a foreign country for cheaper labor, you never know what's going to happen. And so to put your vulnerability into something you have no control over is a huge mistake. And right now that's kind of there's a magnifying glass shining on that. And so some people are going to look at that and go, yeah, there's got to be a better way. And most people aren't. So again, it goes back to that philosophy. How are most people responding to this pandemic? They're going to go back in line for more of the same. That's insane. That's nuts. And there's going to be a few people that are going to go against the grain of what most people are doing. They're going to be like, yeah, I need to open myself up to different opportunities that maybe I wasn't open to before. And that was my scenario. There wasn't a pandemic, but I lost my job to cheaper wages in India. So the company sent my job to India along with everybody else in that company. And so I looked at that. I'm like, that sucks. I showed up every day. I worked hard, busted my butt. And this is the thanks I get, the unemployment line. Oh my God, unemployment ran out. So when I got into the home business, I literally had no income. I didn't even have unemployment. I had nothing. What would most people say if they're presented a business opportunity that required a financial investment when they have no money coming in, unemployment ran out, no job? Most people would say, hell no, I can't afford it. I said, I can't do that because that's what most people would do. So I said, I have to do it. There's no way. I don't have the time, most people would say. Well, therefore, I have to do it because I eventually want some free time in my life to enjoy myself. And I don't want to be broke, and I don't want my time coupled to a paycheck anymore. So I have to do it because most people would say no. And so that was, to this day. And let me give you a recent example of that. So I looked at my YouTube videos. Apparently, they're making me some money because I signed up for ad revenue some years ago. And I looked at it today. I finally decided, how much am I getting on a daily basis on average? Monthly average is about $70-something. On a day-to-day basis, it makes me $2.74 every day. So what would most people say to that? Oh, that's not worth it. Skip that. $2.74. Okay, so now I'm going back to that. I'm like, wow, well, what if I learn what's driving that couple of dollars a day, and I learn how to scale up on that and make it a couple of dollars every second, or I don't know, maybe make it $200 a day and eventually $2,000 a day, because this is another form of residual income, which means it's scalable. So at your job or self-employment, there's only so many hours in a day, and it's very limiting. There's no leverage in that. You've only got so many hours a day. You got to sleep, you got to eat, you got to do other things. You're never going to get ahead that way working a job or being just self-employed. You plateau after so many hours. You cannot do it anymore. So this is completely different. Instead of trading hours for dollars, residual money, you're trading value, or solutions, some kind of value. And value is scalable infinitely. That's how people like, well, you name any millionaire or billionaire in the world, whether they're evil or not evil, but there's certainly a mix of those, and that's not the point of this video. But whether somebody is in it for good or bad, the way that somebody gets ahead by millions or billions of dollars is they learned residual and passive money. That's just the way that it is. And if you don't learn it, then you've got nothing to leverage. And if you're not leveraging anything, then you're the one being leveraged, and you're the one that's never going to get ahead, and you'll be treading that hamster wheel forever. So it's all about residual money. So the YouTube ad revenue is another form of residual money. So apparently for me, that's starting at about an average of $2 a day. Wow, whoop-de-doo. But the way that I see it is most people are going to quit. Okay, I got to double down. I'm going to turn that $2 a day into $200 a day, into $2,000 a day. I don't know, we'll just go from there, see what happens. So I'm going to be taking some trainings, learning about that, what's working, what isn't working. So far, my only strategy is just consistency. I haven't thought about anything else. There's no consistent theme to my YouTube. It's just whatever is on my mind at the moment. And my first YouTube video that I ever did back in 2009 was just, it was so bad I did 100 takes until I finally did one where it's just barely comfortable enough to keep, and I still squirmed in my seat watching myself. It was so bad. And then I just kept showing up and doing them, and now all of my videos are one-take videos. I can't remember the last time I did a video that wasn't one take. And so you just get better. It's just consistency. That's the only strategy so far, is consistency. But now I see there's something to scale up on that's residual. I'm going to take some real trainings here, and I'm going to see what I can do with this thing and just go from there. And it goes back to, what would most people do? They'd scoff at it. Oh, it's not worth it, whatever. Okay, well then most people can stay on $2 a day if that's where they're at. Me, I'm going to up it. It'll be another source of residual income for me that I can buy more houses with and house people that don't have a lot of money, because that's where all I like to put my money into. At the end of the day, it's all funneled towards my affordable housing project, where I focus on lower to middle income families, giving them a great, clean, quality place to live that they can afford without taking food from the table. That's really my deal at the end of the day. That's what I like doing. So I'm like the opposite of a slumlord, and I hire a property management company who's the best of the best. I interviewed several of them, and these guys just every question I had, they answered with flying colors. So like, these are the guys. And 7 years into it, they have not disappointed me. My tenants are happy, and I've never met my tenants. I want to keep it that way, but they're very well cared for. And as it turns out, the turnover rate where I need new tenants is very low in comparison to other management companies out there, which is, I think, that's, the proof is in the pudding. So I guess we're doing a good job at keeping people very happy and helping people that don't have a lot of money. So as I generate hundreds, hopefully thousands of dollars a day eventually through this residual income over YouTube, that's where that's going to go. That many more people are going to have awesome housing. So that's really exciting, and it's all because I have this driving philosophy of, what are most people doing? Okay, I got to do the opposite. Just do the opposite. I don't have time. Okay, therefore I got to make the time. I don't have money. Therefore I have to do it. It's a perfect reason to do it, because I don't have money or time. Or it's only $2 a day. Oh my God, what a perfect reason to scale up on that, because it's residual and it's a great start. $2 a day. Wow. It started at $0 a day at one point. And on and on and on. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys here. And of course, if you want to see what I'm doing, the home business I've got, you can ask me about it. Just private message me, and you can see if you see an opportunity for yourself in there. I've also got a Changemakers group on Facebook. I designed the Changemakers group for positive-minded people who are attracted to living a healthy, chemical-free lifestyle and making better residual money, or one or the other, or both. If you'd like to be in that group, let me know. I accept all positive-minded people. You could just stay there forever and enjoy the free stuff, or whether you become a customer or an independent representative or not, you can stay there as long as you'd like and just get all the free stuff and make healthy changes. All right, that's all I got for you. And I got one more thing. My website, tomberkenmeyer.com, just as it's spelled here on social media, tomberkenmeyer.com. There is another resource there I developed years ago called 31 Ways of Raising Money Without Having Any. So you don't need money to make money. Don't let anybody tell you differently. At some point you have to invest, but your starting point could be nothing, and then you raise something to invest with. My home business opportunity, for example, when I got in, I had no money, no income, unemployment run out. I literally had nothing. That was, at that time, it was $240. And nowadays it's like $140, $150 or something like that. So it's approximately $100 easier to get into. And I did it when I had no income and nothing. So 31 ways to raise money. So that's when I started thinking of that idea. But other people could benefit from knowing ways to raise money without having any, for the purpose of, okay, now I got money, now I can invest it and learn what I'm doing and really make some money. So check out that resource, tomberkenmeyer.com. It's on the right column. Just scroll down 31 ways, and it's just right there. And if you want to see my home business, let me know. Happy to share that with you. You can see if you see something in it for yourself. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Get out in nature and enjoy yourself, because you are a part of nature.